Ab initio void. Abandon an action. Abandonment of an assessment. About how far is it? About how many days? About what time? About what time of day? Absolute owner of the planned scheduled property. Absolute owner of the property. Absolute owner of the scheduled mentioned lands. Absolute owner of the suit house. Absolute owner of the suit land. Absolute owner of the suit scheduled house. Absolute owner of the suit scheduled property. Abundantly clear. Abuse of process. Accessory rights. According to law. Accused appellate. Acquisition of land. Acquitted of the offence with which they are charged. Ad interim. Ad interim injunction. Ad item. Ad litem. Additional evidence. Additional issues. Additional munship. Additional written statement. Adjudicated insolvent. Adjudicatory hearing. Adult probation. Advanced by the learned advocate for the accused appellate. Advanced by the learned advocate for the plaintiff. Advanced by the learned advocate for the respondent. Advanced by the learned counsel for the accused appellate. Advanced by the learned counsel for the defendant. Advanced by the learned counsel for the petitioner. Advanced on behalf of the accused appellate. Advanced on behalf of the defendant. Advanced on behalf of the plaintiff. Adverse claim. Adverse enjoyment. Adverse inference. Adverse interest. Adverse possession. Advocate for the accused. Advocate for the accused appellate. Advocate for the defendant. Advocate for the plaintiff. Advocate for the respondent. After close of the evidence. After the fact. Also known as Alford doctrine. Allegation of the complainant. Allegation of the defendant. Allegation of the petitioner. Allegation of the plaintiff. Allegation of the prosecution. Alleged by the plaintiff. Alleged to have been. Alleged to have taken place. Alternate juror. Alternative dispute resolution. Amicus curiae. Amicus curiae beef. An act of God. Ancestral property. Andhra Pradesh High Court. Andhra Pradesh Police Act. Animus attestendi. Animus desirendi. Annoyance and disturbance. Annulment of the marriage. Another serious infirmity. Ante mortem. Appeal bond. Appendage to the family. Appendage to the family of the plaintiff. Arbitration clause. Arbitration proceedings. Are there as many? Are there many? Are there not? Are you answering? Are you sure? Are you testifying? Are you willing to swear? Aren't you? Argued before me. Argued before me by the learned advocate for the plaintiff. Argued before me by the learned counsel for the plaintiff. Argued on behalf of the accused. Argued on behalf of the complainant. Argued on behalf of the defendant. Argued on behalf of the plaintiff. Argued arguments advanced on behalf of the respondent. Army, Navy, or Air Force. As a matter of law. As a matter of right. As far as you can. As far as you can tell. As far as you know. As jurors. As you are to determine. As you may find. As you may resolve. As you say. Assam High Court. Assessment of damage. Assignment list. Assistant Attorney General. Assistant Public Prosecutor. Assume liability at the cost of repetition. at the time of accident, at the time of conversation, at the very outset, attachment after judgment, attachment before judgment, attorney of record, action purchaser, automatic orders, averment of the plaintiff, averment of the plaintiff, award a contract, Ayakat land, bailable warrant, Banking Companies Act, bankruptcy petition, bed by limitation, bed by time, based upon the evidence, before the police, before the session judge, bench warrant, benefit of doubt, beyond reasonable doubt, bilateral agreement, Bombay High Court, bona fide, bond forfeiture, bond review, both these, breach of contract, breach of promise, break the law. Brief facts of the case are as follows. Briefly stated, bring home the guilt of the accused. Brought to my attention. Build a case. Burden of proof. By that you meant to say. Cancellation date. Capious mitimus. Capital felony. Case file. Case of mistaken identity. Case on hand. Categorically stated before me. Categorically stated in his evidence. Caught red handed. Cause of action. Cause of action for the suit. Cause of action for the suit. Caused annoyance and disturbance. Caused damage. Caused disturbance to the public peace. Causing disturbance. Caveat delicti. Caveat emptor. Cease and desist. Charge sheet. Chemical examiner. Charge to jury. Chief Judicial Magistrate. Circumstantial evidence. Citizens arrest. City Municipality Act. Civil action. Civil law. Civil Procedure Code. Civil revision petition. Claim for alimony. Claim for compensation. Claim on the one hand. Claimed on the other hand. Class action lawsuit. Code of Civil Procedure, Code of Criminal Procedure, Code of Menu, Cognizable Offence, Collateral Contract, Collateral Evidence, Collateral Security, Come Clean, Come into Force, Come to Terms, Commercial Law, Commission of the Offence, Commission Warrant, committed the offence with which they are charged, common law, common property, community service, comparative negligence, competent court, complex litigation, conclusive evidence, conclusive established, conditional discharge, confession of the accused, confessional statement, conjugal bliss, consecutive sentence, constitution validity, constructive notice, consumption of marriage, contempt of court, contention advanced on behalf of the plaintiff, contention advanced on behalf of the respondent, contention of the petitioner, continuance date, contrary to law, contributory negligence of the plaintiff, convict and sentence the accused, convict and sentenced, conviction and sentence, conviction and sentence passed by the learned judge, conviction and sentence passed by the learned magistrate, Cooperative Society Act, Cooperative Society Act, Cooperative Movement, Corporal property, corpus delicti, counsel for the, counsel for the accused, counsel for the defendant, counsel for the plaintiff, counsel for the respondent, counter claim, Counterfeit coin, counterfeit currency, counterfeit government stamp, court fee examiner, court fee and suit valuation, court reporter, court service officer, crack down on, credibility of witness, credit of witness, creditor and debtor, creditor and legatees, criminal conspiracy, criminal force, criminal law journal, criminal misappropriation, criminal procedure code, criminal revision petition, criminal trespass, cross examination, culpable homicide, culpable negligence, curiously enough, custody affidavit, damage by fire, damage for the malicious prosecution, dangerous offender, dealing with the question, declaration and injunction, declaration and possession, declaratory decree, declare the suit schedule land, declare the suit schedule mention property, declare the suit schedule property, decree holder, decree of dissolution of marriage, decree of divorce, decree of decree or order of the civil court, decretal order, Defence of India Act, defendant respondent, defendant's neglect, defendant's negligence, Delhi High Court, delitum in presenti, destroy, damage or defile, destroying, damaging or defiling, determine there, did commit murder, diminution of supply of water, direct result, directory provision, discretion of the court, discretionary power, discussed by me, dishonest intention, dishonest misappropriation, dismissal without prejudice, dismissed with cost, disorderly conduct, dissolution of marriage, dissolution of partnership, distress warrant, district and session court, district and session judge, district court, district magistrate, divergence of judicial opinion, diversionary programs, division bench of the High Court, division bench of the Supreme Court. Do you believe? Do you claim? Do you claim there? Do you claim whether? Do you mean to swear? Do you know whether or not? Do you mean to say that? Do you mean to swear? Do you mean to tell the jury? Do you mean to testify? Do you recollect whether or not? Do you remember whether? Do you want the jury to understand? Do you want to swear? Docket number, doctrine of eclipse, doctrine of res judicate, doctrine of severability, doctrine of stare decisis, documentary evidence, does he go there, does not arise, does that mean, draw up an agreement contract, draw my attention, due process, dying declaration, assessmentary rights, effective date, justum generis, election petition, electronic monitoring, emancipate minor, essential commodities act, essential ingredient, evasive reply, evasive ever and anon, evidentiary document, evidentiary value, ex parte, ex post facto, examined by the complainant, examined by the defendant, examined by the plaintiff, examined by the prosecution, excessive delegation of power, exchange of word, excise inspector, exclusive ulteriors, execution of decree, execution of warrant, execution proceedings, execution suspended, executive magistrate, executive orders, exemplary damage, exemption clause, exhibit to the court, exhibit to the jury.